Hello folks, I am Ed Overstreet. Welcome back to the Night Sky Imaging YouTube channel. And this next YouTube, I guess it's a tutorial, is going to show you what we're going to do next with the RGB stars that we shot at 8 seconds. And there's still some issues I'm having with the galaxy itself. I'm just not happy with it, and I'm going to probably do some work before I add the RGB stars, but we'll get over there and play around with it and see where we're going to go from here. But let's get started. Okie doke. When I left you guys with, I think we were on part 3, we had worked on our galaxy. We combined the luminance channel with our RGB channel, and we got the detail we were looking for. It may be a little bit much, but it is what it is. And I think as you learn your own and develop your own processing skills, you realize that a lot of this is tweaking this, tweaking that, redoing it, revisiting it, starting from scratch. And since I'm doing this on the fly, it's probably going to end up being something that I'm going to live with, but truth be known, I would probably revisit it and make some tweaks. I don't know. I haven't seen the final result yet. So far, I'm not 100% happy with where it's going because I've already blown out the cores. So I'm going to have to do the RGB stars, and I'm going to have to be sensitive to the fact that I'm going to have to work on the core on that while I'm working on the stars because I need it. I'm going to have to add it back into here and through mask. So I've got overexcited about the luminosity mask, making some tweaks, but it did cause some blowing out. And then there's something wrong with this galaxy. I know I'm missing the hydrogen alpha, and I'm thinking that might be what it is, but there's also a very heavy, pronounced, and visible dust lane that goes right down here that gives this galaxy some thickness, and I lost it. I don't have it. So I've got to figure out, one, is the data there? Is the detail there? It just needs to be lifted, or have I just clipped it and it isn't going to be recoverable? And if that's the case, then I'm going to go ahead and finish this by doing the stars and working on the core and removing the stars from this and recombining it. But I know I'm not going to be, it's not the image that I would put on Astrobin if I can't fix some of this. So it is what it is. So let's go ahead now and let's start with running Star Exterminator. And I want to spend some time, once I pull these stars out, I want to spend some time on this galaxy and see if I can't resurrect it. So let's bring up Star Exterminator, and we want to generate a star image, and we want to have unscreen the stars because who knows, I may have to live with these stars if the 8-second ones don't turn out. We don't know yet. We don't know until we do it. So let's go ahead and drag and drop and run this, and I'll be back when it's done. I boo-booed. I forgot to resume the video, but I went ahead, and the only thing you missed was I renamed the stars old, and I made this a galaxy clone. So we have the original here, and this is a clone, so that if we have to go back and do this again, we've still got the starting point. So here are the old stars. We don't want them. We don't need them. Hate them. And so we'll put them up here. And here is our galaxy. And okay, what we want to do, what I want to do is I want to work on, actually my core doesn't look too bad here. And pulling the stars off actually had an effect on the luminosity of this image. It was much brighter over here than it is right now. That's interesting. But I like that. So what I don't like though, it's darker here, and we're going to have to fix that. So um, I want to fix that, and then I want to work on some of the color in here, and we'll try a few tweaks, and see if that makes any difference. And then we're going to work on our RGB stars, and we'll add those back. But my biggest concern, now this area right here is not a dust mote. There's a huge star, or I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a galaxy. Let's bring this up. Yeah, right here. Removing this star didn't remove everything. I still have the remnants. So when I add back the other stars, this really needs to be here because it's the glow off of that star. So I don't want to affect that. But I was getting ready to use the clone stamp tool and remove it completely and match it up with, say, right here. But let's not do that. Um, so we don't have a lot of noise issues to deal with yet. And so let's see what we can do here. And I'm going to try the game script. So let's go to Script, Utilities, and Game. And let's use this whole thing. We can delete this. And what I want to do is a multi-point. This time I want to use a multi-point and click on Add Script. And all I want to do is I want to place a point about here, and then I want to place one about here, and then I want to drag this up down here about the center, and I want to bring this down to about there. Let's move the center point back some, and then I'm going to move this down to about there, and I'm just going to try to build a mask along this band. One thing I don't like about the multi-point mask is that you can't get a good gradient. It makes a harsh edge, and I hate that. But it is what it is. We're going to work with it anyway. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not. Okay, let's kind of bend this up there a little bit, and let's kind of shape that up here a little bit. Got too many points now. All right, so this is going to be my mask, and this is where I'm going to try to take a curve and work on just the L, the lightness, and see if I can't lift that some. Let's bring this up just a little bit before we make this mask, because I know there won't be a gradient. I got gradient mask, and let's make two masks. Let's try gradient and gradient edge. And let's keep our fingers crossed. It'll create two masks. I think they're going to be exactly alike, and they're going to have sharp edges, but let's try. Let's click OK. And did I click it? Yeah. Yep. So this one has more of a gradient than this one, but neither one of them have a decent gradient. I'm just going to get rid of that. So we're just going to use this mask. Let's go over here and drop it on our image. And let's just call this a galaxy mask. No, we're going to call this a just a G mask. I don't know what to call it. I'll have to open it up to remind myself what it is. And now let's bring up curves. And let's get a real-time preview and cross. Let's see if there's any information there. I'm going to use the lightness, and I'm just going to lift it in the center. Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. There we go. There's the edge. Oh, doggone it. Oh, doggone. Doofus. Let's bury it down here, and let's go up here and see if we can work around that edge a little bit. Wow. It's going to be one of those nice tries, but nah. Okay, let's bring this down some. Let's just reset it. Let's give it another twirl, and let's start up here. Ah. Let's start right there and apply it. That may be the best we can do. And tell you what I could do. I can run some deconvolution. I can make a mask right here and run some deconvolution just on that. But it's just how down and dirty am I going to want to get with this. Deconvolution would smooth this out some, and I could make an elliptical mask, put it right there, and just run some decon. Let's go ahead and lift this some more. Let's reset. Let's bring up the RGB now, and let's bring that up some. Let's go ahead and just run it like this. And then I got an idea. All right. Let's apply this with the harshness and everything. And now let's delete this curves, and let's delete this real-time preview, and let's delete this mask, remove. Let's bring back the script, game, and we're still in this script. This time we're going to move it out. Now let's delete it and do it different. Let's delete this and just do it differently. Let me bring this over and delete, and let's go back to add an ellipsis, and let's bring this one right here, and let's create another one, and let's make that it's a little fussy. No, let's make it several little ones then. and see if we can't dumb down that edge some. Let's add another one. Um, okay, let's create this mask, gradient mask. And now we're going to apply it and minimize. I don't know what we're going to call this. We'll just leave the bloody name alone. And now let's bring up deconvolution and let's do a preview. Let's make a preview of it right here. And let's look at the preview. Excuse me. And let's just leave it at default and let's see what happens when we run this. Well, why did it fail? We don't have a point spread function. Let's just use theirs. Why is this failing? It says my star mass, D-ringing support. Okay, let's get rid of D-ringing support. That didn't do any good. But you see the line that I have in my galaxy as a result of bloody. All right, I got to think this one through and see what we can get rid of this mask. And not well, we can remove the mask and we can I could easily go into Photoshop and fix this, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to cheat. I said I wasn't, but I am. So let's get preview, get rid of it. And now we're just going to take this into RGB Galaxy Clone. So we're going to save this, save as a 16-bit TIFF, and we're going to do right here, and let me find save, replace. I had another TIFF file there we don't need. Yes, 16-bit, go for it. Now let me go open up Photoshop. Let's find a page to do that in, and so I had promised myself I was going to stay in PixInsight, but I got to lift that part of the galaxy. And I don't know how to do it selectively, but I know how to fix it here very quickly with one keystroke. All right, let's open it. And that's it. Okay, let's zoom in on this mess. And let's bring up the let's bring up the I don't think I need a ref. Let's see, how do we want to do this? Let's just go this way. Right up the O line. It's gone. Now let's do it again. Did I cause a problem there that wasn't there? I don't know. I think I did. Let's bring back my tool. Let's make it smaller. Let's go over there. Okay. Now we got a line down here that's unnatural, so we're going to need to blend that in. So let's move up to where we can see this. And let's just take our lasso and let's draw around this line. Oh, I don't need to get this galaxy in here. Let me do this again, just around this line, the sharp edge. We'll make a selection, then we're going to go up to filter. We're going to come down to blur Gaussian, and we're going to, there we go, too much, not enough. That works. All right, apply that, and let's deselect. And now what we're going to do is, that isn't what we needed to do. Let's undo that. Undo deselect and undo Gaussian. Let's deselect. Let's go back to our spot healing. Let's see if we can't just run along the edge and blur it. Fingers crossed. Takes a lot of processing power to do this. Did it do it? No. Let's zoom in again. No, it didn't. All right, let's move it up. Let's take then our clone stamp and let's make it a little bigger. And let's take this part right here as our reference, and then let's just go up this way. Let's take another reference, another reference, another reference. Let's see how that looks backed off. Cheesy. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Well, I said there was an easy way to do it, and there was on. I got to think this through. I've got some more issues right here. Let me go ahead and get my spot healing, make it a little smaller, and here, there. Is there anywhere else where it's screwed up? I'm hoping the stars will hide some of that, and it won't be as noticeable. It will be to you guys because you see what I'm doing. All right. That's what we're going to live with. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And let's go back into PixInsight. Oop, let's go back to Photoshop. Since we're here, might as well cheat some more. Let's bring up Vivesa, which is a Nick software program. And let's do the color work with Vivesa. It's going to open, surely. Oh, here we go. I don't want to install the new one now. We'll install it later. And so I want to go down here to control points, and I want to pick right here. I'll drop this. I'll delete that. I didn't mean to have that control point. I want to make this smaller, and let's bring it on out some. And then I'm going to go down here and find brightness. And I'm going to raise it up a little bit. No, not that much. Just a little bit. And I'll add a little saturation to that. And a little structure to that. And then I'm going to make several copies of this and just drag it down here. And let's make another control point. It's up here now. And let's do that right here. And let's make it a little bit smaller. And let's add some brightness. Let's go down to the, up here is global. Down here is just with those control points. So this is my active control point. And I'm just going to bring it up, bring up the brightness a little bit. Not that much. Just a little bit. Too much. And let's bring that up here, up here, up here, down here, over here, over here, over here, over here. And then let's just take the entire image. We'll do a global adjustment and add a little structure to all of it. This is adding a lot of structure to all of it. This is just going to add a little structure to all of it. Here's some presets over here that you can play around with when you're in Nik software. Okay, let's see if we can't lift the midtones a little bit. And bring down the highlights. That's our core. All right, let's apply this. Okay, it saved it, and the only other thing I'm going to do in Photoshop is I'm going to go to Filter. Instead of Nik, I'm going to open up Topaz, Denoise, and I'm not going to use the artificial intelligence, the AI. I'm just going to go to regular Denoise 6. It's pretty powerful. And so let's find a place. I'm going to move this down here. Oh, look, when you zoom in close, look at my line. Okay, well, we're going to apply some noise here. Let me see, that's down here. I'm going to have to go back and fix that. Let's go on up here and see if we see any more of that. Yeah, there's some here. Okay, we're working on the noise right now. I don't want to go over 13, but that's all right. From experience, I know this is going to probably be a big help. So let's go ahead and apply this. Okay, it finished applying noise reduction, and so what I'm going to do is look how large this file is. This file is almost it's 700 megabytes. It's getting close to becoming a gigabyte file. So I'm going to flatten these layers. That'll help some, but I'm still not happy with this edge. So I'm going to duplicate that layer, and I'm going to take this layer and I'm going to run the blur again on it. I'm going to go to Blur Gallery, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and I'm going to run blur on the whole thing. About like that. Maybe like that. And I'm going to close this, and then I'm going to make a mask right over here, and I'm going to click on the mask, and I'm going to go to Command or Control I to invert it. Then I'm going to come over here and make sure I've got a white background to paint with, white paint. It's got to be on top, and I'm going to go up here and get my paintbrush, and I want to get up close to this. Uh, and I want to make my brush bigger by the bracket key. The right bracket will make it a little bigger. And I'm just going to brush in some of this blur. Just see if I can't get rid of some of the radical harshness. That's probably a little better. I think I'm going to be able to live with that. And then let's flatten that layer and zoom in some more and some more. And there's that line I was talking about. Let's bring up this tool, make it a little smaller. And that's the one we found a while ago. That took care of it. And this is really cheating, guys, but I don't like the looks of this blur line now that I'm zoomed in. So this is when cheating gets personified. I'm going to take my clone stamp and I'm going to make it a little bigger. Not that big. Say right there. I'm going to start right here. I'm going to hold down the Option key on the Mac, get a reference. I don't want to do that. That's looking worse. Just back off of that. Just leave it the way it is. And hope the stars, I'm undoing everything I did. And hope the stars kind of helped that out though some. Let me see. Let's try doing this then. Let's change the opacity to say 40 and see if this I don't know. Anyway, we're going to find out what it's going to look like. Oh, yeah, this is terrible. Oh, how to screw up an image. Why don't you leave? I need a gradient. I need to go dark. That's what I need to do. Okay. That isn't so hard to do. All right. Let's. Can I do it and keep from screwing up this galaxy? That's the question. So I know where I can do it. I can do a real easy gradient using Lightroom's gradient tool. We're not going to open up another software program, guys, though. So let's go ahead and save this. It's already becoming a sad galaxy. So what we're going to do is just take this sad galaxy, go ahead and prepare the stars and add them and call it a day. When you're doing this yourself, just don't get carried away like I just did. And be happy, I guess, with what you got. So crap. All right, let's go back to PixInsight and let's put this one to bed. And it's buried down there somewhere, and get rid of this. And let's open up our image. There she be. I gotta laugh. All right, well, let's don't look at it for a while. Let's just sit it up there and wait for the stars. All right, let's bring our stars down. So I need RGB combine, and let's reset this. And we want to go to the R stars for red. Come on, move. And the G stars. And the B stars. But you do see the reason why this becomes so slow. This image is 700 terabytes, 700 megabytes. It says it's a large image thanks to Drizzle. All right, let's make our star image. And there she be. We don't need that anymore. So let's stretch it. And that looks fine. Because it looks like I may have to use the core and bring that into my other image at some point. I may even have to use this edge. That's it. We can add, okay, I tell you what, we might be able to fix the edge by, yes, we may be able to figure that one out. Not tonight. That may be it. If I can make it work, I'll do another video on how I made it work. All right. Got an idea though. Let's just get this one done. So here are our stars. We need to do a couple of things because I may use it. I want to go ahead and run DBE. And let's go ahead and execute in division. And then we'll execute, provided we don't have any red boxes. We won't have to close it down and open it back. And we don't. So let's stretch the image when it's done. Finish, finish, finish. Okay, get rid of this and we'll stretch it. And we go ahead and run subtraction. I'm not sure we absolutely need that, but we needed to remove the gradients across the stars because even though it works on the background, it's a background extraction tool. It also, that background and the stars are sometimes inseparable, and it does affect the color of the stars. Okay, we don't need this. And we'll close this out. Yep. All right. Because I may use this image, I'm going to have to run MLT to noise. So I don't need a preview mask. I already know we've got the linear mask selected, but I know I need to run this up to about 110 and just from the last image. And so we're going to go ahead and apply this. Okay, we now have a mask, some noise reduction applied using the multilinear transform tool to do that. That's good. Now what we need to do is to run photometric calibration. But I'll tell you what I think I'm going to do. This is kind of ass backwards. I really need to get the color on the stars right, so I need to probably run that. But I'm going to use the script by Hartmut Bormann called AutoColor. It's under Utilities, AutoColor, and while that's running, I'm going to show you where you can get that. I showed you in the prior video. I had and I'll put a link to this video for Sky Pixels at PixInsight, so it'll make it easy for you to access this. In fact, I'll go ahead and save this. I don't think I'm going to copy and paste anything else. But von Hartmut Bormann developed these scripts, and I used the game script. You've seen that one, and I used the point spread function right here. And if you're doing deconvolution, then you want to get a good point spread average for your stars. And in order to do that, you have to bring up a process in PixInsight and manually select stars that aren't oversaturated or have some lightness to it. And so you have to go through and identify about 20 stars that fit that. It takes some time. With point spread function, it does it for you. And here's AutoColor. And then above here are some instructions on how you can add those in PixInsight. And these are made just for PixInsight, by the way. Hartmut Bormann, thank him so much for having done those for us. So back to back to still running. Large file. And can you imagine how big this is going to be when we combine the stars with the main image? So it's going to be a big one. Okay, we have our photo now color calibrated, and it's time to run a histogram transformation. And I think I'm going to go up and use the script for this one and go down to software, easy software stretch. I'll give you an idea of how it's going to look as soon as it gives me a preview. There's the preview. That looks okay. So let's run it. As long as I get some good color in my stars. All right, goody goody gumdrops. Now, let's that we have it stretched. Let's go into curves, real time, and let's bring down our background that we're going to remove, because all we're going to bring out here essentially are the stars. Well, I said that, but that's not exactly the case. We may use this core and add this in as a buffer to help tone down that radical adjustment that I made to the RGB 45-second image. All right, let's accept that and apply it, and then I want to add saturation, and I'm going to use this. Let's reset. Let's go to saturation and bring that up for my stars, and let's apply that. It is amazing to me how much of this galaxy has been defined by an 8-second exposure. Okay, there's our colorful stars. And let's close this out, and now it's time to separate these stars from its owner. So let's bring up Star Exterminator, bingo, and let's run it. We want to generate a star image, unscreen, because I may need that image. Here we go. Fingers crossed, folks. I'll pause and come back when it's done. Okay, that's done. Let's see what we got. We can close this out, and there are our stars. We got some work to do on them, so let's just call these now stars. Is that okay? No, we already got that. We need to call these stars 8 for 8-second stars. Okay. So we have this 8-second stars, and this is our galaxy that we may try to blend in. I'll have to really work on that, though. I don't think it's going to work. And I'm going to keep it. I don't know if I need the... I don't know if I'm going to need the core, though. It looks okay. Let's just do M31, and we're going to call this 8 seconds. So this is our M31 8-second image, and we'll put our stars up there, and if we need it, that's good. Okay, let's bring our stars back up, and let's bring up curves. We need to add some, I don't want to blow them out, but I do want to add some lightness to them and some RGB brightness to them. And then we'll touch a little bit of saturation to them. And let's apply that. And that's all we're doing with this. It's time to put these two together and see what in the world we've got. And we'll close out the real-time preview. So let's bring back, this is our image, and we're going to retitle this M31 Andromeda. And well, we can leave it open. And then this is our stars, 8 seconds. We're just going to call these M31 stars. And so let's open up Pixel Math. I have it as a process icon. You can go up here to process all processes and come down here to Pixel Math right there. And we want to make sure we've got use a single RGBK expression in this instance of Pixel Math. We're going to open up the editor. We're going to take Andromeda M31, and that's our galaxy, and we're going to add the stars, and we're going to put a plus sign right here because we're going to add the stars. It's that simple. So we've got Andromeda plus the stars. That's how simple it gets. And we're going to create a new image because we'll keep these. And we want it to be the same as the target, but I'll go ahead and put RGB color. And let's take a look at it. A new image, galaxy plus the stars. We can close these out. And there she blows. Let's back over here. There's our M31 stars, and that's it. Actually, it doesn't look so bad around the edge now. Nice tight stars. Isn't that cool? Love it. Nice, tight, colorful, not blown out. Here's where that galaxy fits in. You remember that kind of a hole or aberration it looked like in the starless picture. I love it. I don't love it, but it turned out better than I thought it would. So here is our finished product. I'm going to call this M31, and well, I lost something here. And that's as good as we get. So there we go. Is there anything else we might do to this image? After I sign off, I may run noise reduction on it because I see some issues here. It looks like a result of something that I did along the line, and I don't like that, so I might try to remove that. I'll probably try indeed to remove that, and put this on Astrovan. Is there anything else I might do to this? I can't think of anything. All right, well, I'm going to sign off and upload this to YouTube, and hope everybody has a good rest of the week, and clear skies, more clear skies than you have cloudy ones. Talk to you later.